Okay people, this is my first update since February. I have uploaded a video episode 10A and 10B last night, but that was recorded back in February, as I mentioned in the video. So yeah, this is my first update in 10 months. So yeah, this is where the lathe is now. As you can see, she is now, the drip tray and the stand have been painted, and the plaque and the switch reinstalled on the cabinet. The lathe is mounted on the feet, as you can see there. And indeed the lathe has been levelled using a Moore and Wright engineer's level and a Starrett engineer's level, which I got off eBay. As I mentioned in the last video, I didn't have a knurled nut for the gear change cover, so I've obtained one of them now, which I'm really pleased about. I believe it to be original, but if it's not original, it certainly sort of looks the part, so, and it operates quite well, so I'm pleased with that. Another addition is the Myford label. That's now in place. The bearing caps have both been adjusted. The shims have been measured and the bearing caps have been tightened down. Possibly a little bit too tight, maybe. You can turn it by hand, but she's a little bit stiff. You've got to take quite a good grip of it, you know. But when you turn it by the wheel here, it all revolves, you know, reasonably easily. I'll maybe slacken them off just a mite yet. I've also acquired a little Jacob's chuck, which, well, the lathe was lacking prior to this, so making it, well, next to useless without a way to center drill or to drill holes. So oh yeah, I also got a lead screw hand wheel and pointer. I actually got them separately. I got the lead screw off eBay, I believe. I can't really remember now, to be honest with you. And I had to get the hand wheel pointer and that from another source. The drip tray, it's been painted, and well, you saw it when it was undercoated last. Now it's got its enamel on it, as do the feet here. I've used a piece of this rubber matting to protect the top of the cabinet from the drip tray, and, you know, hopefully remove any vibration. This plaque, which I think was originally riveted on the cabinet, has now been I've now got small, I think it's 2BA brass screws, round head ones, and I've used I don't know if you'll see here, I'll maybe try the other side. You might just see it there. I've used double-sided sticky insulating foam strips to help mask any vibration. That might need to be tightened up a little bit more yet, actually, that screw, but that'll stop it from rattling, I'm hoping. Now at the moment I haven't got the motor fitted as yet. I've got the cable there going from the switch but that's all got to be dealt with yet. The motor is still in a dismantled state. I've been away working and I've not had a chance to look at anything since, well, nigh on 10 months. I was home briefly for a period and I got a few things done, as you can see, you know, the progress I've made from my last video. But yeah, not a lot's been actually achieved. The cabinet is now bolted down and secured with rowel bolts, so it's all quite solid now. You know, I cannot move that at all. You know, it's all tight. Might need some further adjustment to the bedways yet, you know, just to make sure they're bang on. I still haven't dealt with the issue I mentioned previously about the slack in the gears, but I'll start looking at that once I've got the motor in place and the lathe actually running. I doubt I'll be doing any screw cutting straight away, you know, so I'll maybe turn out some shims like I mentioned before to help resolve that play in the bearings. What other things? I've acquired some plans for a gearbox, and I hope to manufacture that at some point in the future. Don't look for any details regarding that anytime soon. I'm still getting my head around the actual plans themselves, and I don't have any facility to cut gears yet, so my schedule, if you like, is to build a furnace. With the furnace I can melt alloy, and when I've got that facility in place, I've got to build the moulding boxes, the moulds, and acquire the green sand and other sort of equipment to actually create the moulds to cast the gearbox itself. Once I've got or possibly at the same time, I'm going to start looking at creating a dividing attachment. I have a vertical milling attachment, so I need the raising block for the dividing attachment and the dividing attachment itself. Now I think I might be able to manufacture a raising block myself if I get the correct sizes. The dividing attachment depends on whether it's going to be cheaper to manufacture it or to buy it, but it's certainly not outside of my abilities. So furnace, dividing attachment, and then the gearbox. So that's my three projects that I want to aim to complete by this time next year. You know, I gave myself 3 months to do the lathe, and it's taken me a year, so I think I'll give myself at least a year to get these 3 projects completed, possibly 3 years, but when I get the lathe running, hopefully things will go quicker then, because I'll have the capability to produce components a lot quicker than I've been able to acquire components for the lathe. So yeah, the last thing that's really stopped me from using the lathe now is the motor. I got a couple of new pulleys, because the actual pulley I had for it was way too long. So that's two, actually, although they look the same, they're actually two different sizes. I don't recall exactly what they are, but there is a slight difference between the two. Just will help in getting the correct tension on the belt once the motor is installed. So that's that. Yeah, the motor, sorry about the darkness over here, I'll try and make it a little bit better. The motor has a slight issue with it that I want to resolve before I fit it. Okay, that's not really any better. I'll get more light on the matter in a second. In fact, I'll do that first. Right, no, that's not really good at that either. Sorry about this, folks. I'm working with what I've got. Right, that's better. Okay, the motor has been completely stripped, dismantled, scraped off all the loose paint that was flaking off it. Gave it a rub with a wire brush, you know, the rotating one that I used on the in the hand power drill. So she got a really good clean up, and then I gave her a paint. Didn't do a very good job with the paint, but you can see there's a run here and there's more here, but it'll protect it, you know. So and it's going to be heading at the back of the lathe anyway, so I'm not too bothered about that. Now, my point here is, on this end of the casing, in this case, this side of the casing can only fit on one way. This hole is facing upwards. It's in a vertical orientation. Now, I believe that to be an oil hole. If we look at this part of the casing, it has the same hole as its twin, and if you look inside it, the white metal bearings there, I don't know how clear that is, but they're white metal bearings, and they've got these little foam or fibre pads which I either pick up you know, shavings, dirt, dust, detritus or whatever description, or help retain the oil and lubricate the bearing. Right, so it's one of those two functions is what I assume that foam pads are for. Now, taking that in mind, when I stripped it, this end of the casing was in that orientation. One moment, folks. Hello?